what's your response to the incredible speech from the cast of Hamilton to VP Pence?
Well, I'll just first of all say that Donald Trump has been saying all kinds of stuff on his Twitter all kinds of days. I really don't believe that Donald Trump even believes half of what he puts on Twitter. And for me, it's really sad considering everything that happened this past year, seeing how President-elect Trump ran his campaign, which was super divisive, very much targeted people with personal insults, from Republicans to Democrats, people of all political persuasions, actually harassing people, and documentation of him talking about sexually assaulting women and all these other, the lawsuits that he's taken against people, actual actions and things that he said and done that have actually harmed people. And what we just heard was completely civil, was completely open-minded, and was a conversation, and the fact that could be translated into harassment makes no sense to me. What also doesn't make sense at all is that this past week, Donald Trump was tweeting that he was grateful that people were protesting in the streets after the results of the election. And so for me, that is some serious cognitive dissonance. So you have this man who is saying, oh, well, people are protesting me, and they're all chanting fuck Trump and all these things in the streets. This is great. And then you have this cast of people who are talking about presidential values, talking to the VP and saying, thank you for joining us. Here's how we want to be included in your administration. And that equates to harassment. So for me, it's another thing that just proves that this is a man of very short temperament. A lot of what he says does not make sense. And we're in some really sad, confusing times in the next 4 years in America.
Definitely. Now, we had Greg McKelvey from the PDX Resistance on the show, and he was talking about ways that we, as a people, literally, I'm not talking just LGBTQ. I'm basically talking about all of us that are now one large marginalized group. He was talking about ways that we could insulate ourselves from Donald Trump policies. So let's go into a lightning round here. So let's say if any messaging that we as Americans can project onto VP-elect Trump, if that message is lost on him, if he's not going to change, then isn't that a pretty good plan B for us, is to work on ways to insulate ourselves from his policies, assuming that he won't change his messaging, right?
Yeah.
So what's next for you, Cameron? Obviously, this is we're going to be hunkering down for a long 4 years here. What do you want to see right now? What's next for you?
I would say this changes everything for me. I reflect a lot of people who in the past decade have felt that there's been progress, even though there hasn't been perfection in this past presidential administration with Barack Obama. There has been progress, and a lot of people have been content with that. I, with 100% certainty, have expected to say President-elect Clinton, and that is not the case. And so there's a lot of people now who felt like even though things were not perfect, there were people at the top that were making sure that progress was being made. So now that is not the case, this changes everything for me, and I'm really open to what that means for the future. I expect to be blogging more, starting a new online blog, and really have a watchdog look at what's happening nationally in the Capitol. I plan on working with Portland's Resistance to make sure they have a strong platform and are empowering historically unseen, underrepresented voices to be involved in civic leadership. And who knows what else could be in the future. I do not want the slate of candidates who are running for these offices to not look like me, to not have my experiences. And so I want to be able to encourage people from diverse backgrounds to run for office so that we all have a chance for representation in our democracy. And so for me, the door's open. The door's open to so many possibilities. But what I do realize is that we all have to feel the call to do more than what we did before and make sure that we do try to protect and push forward progress in America.
All right, Cameron Whitten, we thank you so much for coming on LGBTQ America. Best of luck to you, sir.
Thank you. Have a great day.
So you're ready to start a family, and everyone's been giving you advice. But where to actually begin? At Kaiser Permanente, our teams of obstetricians, delivery nurses, lactation consultants, and pediatricians all work together for you and your baby, helping ensure you get the care you need from the doctors and caregivers you trust, standing by your family through every step of this wonderful journey. That's Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. Visit kp.org. At Kaiser Permanente, we're always looking into the future, but we're not using a crystal ball. We're using science and technology to see what's coming for your health. Take something preventable, like heart disease. It's the leading cause of death in this country because only half of us manage our blood pressure correctly, so we made it a focus. The result? More than 86% of Kaiser Permanente members have their blood pressure under control. We may not be able to tell you your fortune, but we'll happily work on improving your future. Kaiser Permanente. Rise and thrive. Visit kp.org.